topic of our project is about ethical, social, and political issues in information technology. And now we will start by taking a model for thinking about it. Society was a calm bond, and information technology as a rock dropped in this pond, creating ripples of new situations not covered by old rules. Social and political institutions cannot respond overnight to these ripples. It requires understanding of ethics to make choices in legally gray areas. So now we'll start talking about the 8 candidate ethical principles.
Rule number 1, the Golden Rule.
The first rule is the Golden Rule, and this rule is straight that you have to do unto others as you have them do unto you. So for example, if you don't want your Facebook account to be hacked, so you have to just do the same. Don't hate others' Facebook accounts.
Rule number 2, Immanuel Kant's categorical imperative.
According to Kant, the central construct of moral law is the categorical imperative.
The second rule is the Immanuel Kant's categorical imperative. This rule illustrates that if an action is not right to take for everyone, it's not right to take for anyone. So if you are a manager in a company and you put a rule that any employee that will arrive after 9 o'clock will be prevented from entering to work. So if your favorite employee came after 9 o'clock, you have to prevent him also from entering to work.
Rule number 3, Descartes' Rule of Change.
René Descartes was a French 17th century philosopher, famous above all for saying, "I think, therefore I am."
The third rule is Descartes' Rule of Change. This rule illustrates that if an action cannot be taken repeatedly, it cannot be taken at all. So, like the previous example, if you are a manager in a company and you put a rule that no employee will enter after 9 o'clock, and the employee that manages the information system came after 9 o'clock, you cannot permit him from entering to work because all the work would be delayed, so you will break the rule.
Rule number 4, Utilitarian Principle.
The fourth rule is the Utilitarian Principle, and this rule illustrates that you have to take the action that achieves the higher value. For example, if you have to change the systems of your computers and you have 2 ways to change them with new outstanding systems which are costly, or change them with ordinary old systems, you will choose to change them with the new systems which will benefit more.
Rule number 5, Risk Aversion.
Rule number 5, Risk Aversion Principle. Take the action that produces the least harm or potential cost. That's contrary to the previous rule. So like the previous example, if you have to choose between the 2 ways, the costly new system or the old one, you will choose the old non-costly one.
Rule number 6, Ethical No Free Lunch Rule.
Rule number 6 is the Ethical Free Lunch Rule. This rule illustrates that all tangible and intangible objects are owned by someone, unless there is a specific declaration otherwise. So for example, if you find a video on Facebook and you posted this video as yours, it's not your right to do this because it's owned by someone.
Rule number 7, Professional Code of Conduct.
Rule number 7 is Professional Code of Conduct. This rule illustrates that promises to professions must regulate themselves in the interest of society. For example, if your duty is to collect information from customers, you must save the privacy of these customers and don't use their information in any other things.
Rule number 8, Real-World Ethical Dilemma.
The last rule is real-world ethical dilemma. One interest pitted against another. For example, if a company's right is to prevent workers from using the internet to increase their productivity, and also the workers' right is to use the internet in their personal tasks. So there is a dilemma between them.